In a previous exploration, we examined the masculine archetypes of the psyche, observing both their integrated expressions and their immature, shadow manifestations. In this chapter, we turn our attention to the feminine archetypes, the inner patterns that shape perception, emotion, creativity, and relationship. Carl Jung never attempted to catalog all archetypes. He understood that archetypes emerge from recurring situations in human life, and because life itself is endlessly varied, archetypes are equally numerous. Later Jungian thinkers expanded his ideas, creating symbolic models to better understand the feminine and masculine dimensions of the psyche. These models are not exhaustive, but they offer powerful insight into ourselves and into others. Unresolved experiences do not simply fade with time. When emotional material is ignored, it forms complexes, clusters of emotionally charged thoughts, images, and memories within the personal unconscious. People commonly say that someone has a complex, but Jung pointed out a deeper truth. Complexes often have us. They operate semi-autonomously, influencing our behavior, decisions, and reactions without our awareness. Painful experiences alone do not indicate pathology. Suffering is a natural counterpart to joy. A complex becomes pathological only when it remains unconscious. As Jung famously stated, until the unconscious is made conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Behind personal complexes lie the deeper forces of the collective unconscious, archetypal patterns inherited at birth. When an impulse overwhelms us and leads to regret, we are encountering the shadow, the rejected or unknown aspect of the psyche. The shadow does not disappear when ignored. Instead, it pursues us. What we deny internally becomes destructive externally. Shadow work is not about eliminating darkness, but about turning toward it. The shadow carries essential information. Within the wound lies the medicine. Within the poison lies the cure. When acknowledged consciously, the shadow transforms from enemy to guide. The 7 feminine archetypes. In her work, Goddesses in Every Woman, Jungian analyst Jean Shinoda Bolen describes 7 primary feminine archetypes symbolized by Greek goddesses. Myths, she explains, are not fictional fantasies, but timeless psychological patterns expressing universal human experiences. Every woman carries all 7 archetypes within her psyche, though some are active while others remain dormant. What fulfills one woman may leave another empty, depending on which archetypes are dominant. These archetypes fall into 3 categories. The virgin goddesses, Artemis, Athena, and Hestia. The vulnerable goddesses, Hera, Demeter, and Persephone. And the transformative goddess, Aphrodite. A psychologically balanced life requires the expression of all 3 groups: independence, relationship, and transformation. Archetypes themselves are amoral forces, similar to instincts. The danger arises not from their presence, but from identification with them. You are not an archetype. Integration means recognizing these forces without surrendering your humanity to them. The virgin goddesses, independence, and focus. The virgin goddesses represent autonomy and self-definition. The term virgin refers to psychological wholeness rather than sexual experience. Artemis embodies independence, focus, and goal-directed energy. She represents the achievement-oriented feminine spirit, competitive, protective, and aligned with personal values. Her shadow emerges as emotional coldness, contempt for vulnerability, and destructive rage when her humanity is denied. Athena symbolizes strategic intelligence and rational mastery. She values logic over emotion and thrives in structured, male-dominated environments. Her shadow appears as emotional detachment and intimidation, the Medusa effect, where others feel frozen or invalidated. Hidden within Athena's shadow is the neglected inner child. Hestia, the quietest goddess, represents inner stillness and spiritual centering. She is the hearth fire, the calm center around which life organizes itself. Hestia women are grounded, reflective, and resilient. Her shadow manifests as withdrawal from the outer world and difficulty engaging socially. The vulnerable goddesses, relationship and attachment. The vulnerable goddesses are defined by connection and emotional bonding. Their awareness is receptive and diffuse, sensitive to the emotional field around them. Hera represents the archetype of marriage and partnership. Her deepest need is commitment and recognition through relationship. When unbalanced, her shadow manifests as jealousy, rage, and loss of identity through over-identification with her partner. Demeter embodies the nurturing mother. She provides emotional, physical, and psychological sustenance. When her need to nurture is blocked, her shadow appears as over-control, emotional withdrawal, and resentment, especially during separation and loss. Persephone symbolizes the daughter and the queen of the underworld. In her immature form, she is passive and indecisive, waiting for life to happen to her. In her mature form, she becomes the wounded healer, one who has descended into darkness and returned with wisdom. The transformative goddess, Aphrodite. Aphrodite represents love, beauty, creativity, and transformation. Her consciousness is intensely present and emotionally alive. She brings inspiration, passion, and the birth of new life, both literal and symbolic. Her shadow appears in compulsive attachment, idealization, emotional addiction, and fear of aging when beauty becomes identity. Integration requires learning to love imperfect human beings rather than chasing divine illusions. Integration and psychological wholeness. The psyche resembles an inner council of many voices, young and old, masculine and feminine, rational and emotional. A healthy ego does not silence these voices. Instead, it chairs the meeting, allowing each archetype expression without allowing any to dominate. When one archetype takes over unchecked, inner conflict arises. When neglected archetypes are ignored, they rebel. Awareness restores balance. What shapes us most is not what happens to us, but what happens within us. Courage is not the absence of fear, but action in spite of it. The heroine's journey is not about avoiding suffering, but about choosing responsibility, meaning, and conscious engagement with life. That choice, made again and again, is what defines psychological maturity.